Good evening. This Rashad Mitchell comes to you live from the YouTube channel to continue on our part series, the week that was college football history review, the 1964 college football season. This is week 9, talking about the games that were played on week 9 of November 14th, 1964. Let's get into it. Week 9, 1964, November 14th. Princeton beat Yale by a score of 35-14. Previously undefeated Yale Bulldogs had high hopes of staging upset as Eli's gave Princeton all it could handle in the first half. Yale accepted opening kickoff and went 85 yards to fullback Chuck Massine's touchdown after quarterback Ed McCarthy's 61-yard pass to end Charlie Carter. Eli's tied it at 14-14 just before halftime on a 64-yard trip, capped when McCarthy threw 8-yard touchdown pass to halfback Bill Henderson and made a juggling catch. In the third quarter, Tigers fullback Cosmo Ikavasi, who had 185 yards, 20 carries, and 2 touchdowns, running as described by venerable scribe Allison Danzig in the New York Times on a one-man stampede, shedding tackles like a Samson, bowled 23 yards to set up tailback Don McKay's go-ahead touchdown pass to blocking back Roy Pizzarella at 21-14. Ikavasi's future Hall of Famer, but verdict and bank by rampaging for 39 47-yard touchdown runs in the fourth quarter, gleefully firing ball into Yale Bowl stands after each score. The victory clinched Big Three, football's oldest title, an Ivy League championship. Princeton beat Yale 35-14. Next, Syracuse beat Virginia Tech by a score of 20-15. Virginia beat North Carolina by a score of 31-27. Virginia beat North Carolina 31-27. North Carolina boasted the best pass defense in the ACC, but Virginia quarterback Bob Davis shredded it for 13 of 25, 196 yards and a touchdown, and added 2 touchdowns running before hurting throwing shoulder. So quarterback Tom Hodges contributed savvy play on drive that gave Wahoos a 28-21 edge. Cavaliers center snap shot into the air after hitting pulling guard Charlie Hart, but Hodges kept his composure. Snatch ball through 15-yard pass to North Carolina's 16-yard line. North Carolina halfback Ken Willard rush for 121 yards on 28 carries, and quarterback Gary Black hit 3 touchdown passes, but neither Hill's offensive star could produce enough for victory. Next, Mississippi shut out Tennessee by a score of 30-0. Next, in the top 10 matchup of 2 top 10 teams, number 2 Alabama beat Georgia Tech, the number 10 team in the country. Number 2 Alabama beat Georgia Tech, number 10 team in the country, 24-7. Outgaining twice, pressed back near its own goal line, Georgia Tech was within a couple minutes from escaping the first half with the scoreless tie. But Alabama defensive end Mike Hopper soon grabbed Yellow Jackets' fumble at midfield, and Hobley quarterback Joe Namath was summoned to action. He fired a 49-yard bomb to halfback David Ray that reached the 1-yard line after fullback Steve Bowman's touchdown made it 7-0. Alabama and Creed Gilmer pounced on onside kickoff as Namath quickly whipped 47-yard pass to halfback Ray Ogden and followed with 3-yard touchdown to Ray. Setting new NCAA season kick scoring record, kicker Ray made 22-yard field goal in the third quarter for 17-0 lead. Now Crimson Tide sub quarterback Steve Sloan sparked 92-yard march for a touchdown with runs of 24 and 16 yards in the fourth quarter before Georgia Tech salvages pride on quarterback Johnny Priestley's touchdown pass in the last 21 seconds. Auburn beat Georgia by a score of 14-7. With star quarterback Jimmy Seidel sidelined with injury, Auburn turned to fullback defensive back Tucker Frederickson for 53 minutes of superb play on both sides of the ball. Frederickson gained 101 yards rushing on 14 carries, including 24-yard bursts in the first quarter on newly installed trap play. Tigers growled for 82 yards in the second quarter as sophomore quarterback Tom Bryan, who had 20 carries for 89 yards rushing, stepped around in for a 5-yard touchdown. Trailing 14-0 at halftime, completely unfamiliar with Auburn's side of the 50-yard line, Georgia made halftime adjustments on defense, sprung surprise play on unyielding Tigers defense. On last play of the third quarter, the Bulldogs quarterback Lynn Hughes flipped past the big George Patton on tackle eligible play, and Patton lumbered 40 yards to the 17-yard line. But Auburn, led by defensive stars linebacker Bill Cody, tackles Larry Haney and Jack Thornton and Fredrickson at defensive back held at its 2-yard line. But our next play, after change of possession, Georgia defensive guard Joe Darden stole ball from Auburn's Brian. Halfback Princeton Riddle Huber. Smacked stiff Plainsmen line 3 times before finally making touchdowns. Auburn never allowed access to Georgia past midfield again. Minnesota beat Purdue by a score of 14-7. Golden Gophers quarterback John Hankinson set new school season records for completions and pass gains as he hit 8 for 15, 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. Boilermakers saw into their Rose Bowl hopes as sophomore quarterback Bob Greasy had fair performance. Purdue threatened early at 33 and 28-yard lines, but lacked finishing that when Minnesota defensive back Jerry Newsom picked off Greasy and returned interception 7 yards to Boiler's 31-yard line in the second quarter. Hankinson limbered his arm for a touchdown pass to tall sophomore halfback Kenny Lass. Purdue tied it in the third quarter because Greasy hit 2 passes that got away from his receivers but were called catches. With Minneapolis crowd hooting, officials decided each pass was caught and blown dead before squirting away. Boiler's second of these borderline calls put them at 1-yard line after Sam Longmire spurted slippery seed into end zone from 1-yard line on 49-yard catch. Fullback Randy Manier scored on next play with only 20 seconds left in the third quarter, and so was 73 yards away from end zone. Win size changed for fourth quarter. Hankinson won game in the 2 plays, his 30-yard pitch to Lass, and when Purdue ignored tight end Kent Kramer in favor of Lass, Kramer was wide open for winning 43-yard touchdown arrow. Number 1 Notre Dame beat Michigan State 34-7. For the first time in 10 years, Notre Dame beat the Spartans and accomplished it in all phases of the game. Fighting Irish Lavelle New Devil Wing tackle spread, double wing T spread that open hole off left side for halfback Nick Eddy, who had 2 touchdowns to zoom 61 yards to touchdown in the first quarter. Conversion kick fell, so Irish spent the rest of the day trying for 2 points and batting 2 for 4. Notre Dame fullback Joe Farrell broke open in the left flank for a 13-yard touchdown catch from quarterback John Hewitt later in the first quarter. Michigan State was behind 20-0 in the third quarter when it forced Irish's first punt. Spartans traveled 77 yards to score, mostly on the quarterback Steve Druday's 51-yard touchdown pass to tall end Gene Washington. Notre Dame defensive back Tom Carey made interception early in the fourth quarter, and Jack Snow caught 6 passes, 114 yards, caught 16-yard pass to set up Hewitt for a 21-yard touchdown keeper on 4th and 2. Next, number 5 Texas beat Texas Christian by a score of 20-13 with Arkansas slamming SMU 44-0. Texas was blocked from trip to Cotton Bowl, but with its win, accepted Orange Bowl bid instead. Fullback Harold Phillip had 106 yards rushing on 16 carries. And quarterback Marv Christie-Nick had 100 yards rushing on 9 carries, led 313 yards ground game that reaped 2 touchdowns from each. TCU exhibited good offensive showing up with 304 yards, and Purple Frogs drifted in and out of contention on quarterback Randy Howard's second and fourth quarter touchdown runs. Upset took place as Stanford upset number 8 Oregon State 16-7. Powerful ground attack, which was 279 yards, led by halfback Ray Hanley, who had 141 yards rushing, and quarterback Dave Lewis propelled Stanford to a second upset over top 10 team and left 6 AAW teams with Rose Bowl shot. Margin would have been greater had B was not made 2 goal line stands. Tribe scored on kicker Braden Beck's fullback after recovery of punt off foot of Oregon State wingback Dan Espelin placed Indians deep, and Stanford added fullback Pete Middlecoff's third quarter plunge. Oregon State edged within 9-7 in third quarter. Quarterback Paul Brothers' 26-yard touchdown pass to halfback Bobby Grimm, but Indians halfback Bob Blunt countered with 24-yard touchdown run after defensive back Dick Ragsdale interception of Brothers at Stanford 25-yard line. And finally, Washington beat UCLA 22-20. Quarterback Larry Zeno attempted one-man spark of upset-minded UCLA, passing 17 of 31 for 246 yards passing, a touchdown and 3 interceptions, with his passing yards setting new Bruins mark at that time. Zeno twice put Bruins ahead in second quarter with a touchdown run and his pass to halfback Mel Farr, who fumbled into the arms of UCLA and Al Witcher in end zone. Tackle kicker Jim Norton kicked an invigorating 42-yard field goal on first half last play to let Huskies slip away with 15-14 edge at mid-game recess. Power runs fullback Jeff Jordan, who had 142 yards rushing on 29 carries and 2 touchdowns, were Washington's hallmark, and his second touchdown in the third quarter extended Huskies' lead to 22-14. Now, after his fourth quarter touchdown pass to end Kurt Altenberg, Zeno's attempt at trying a tying 2-point pass was picked off by the University of Washington guard linebacker Rick Redmond. So let's look at the AP poll. As of November 16th, was included the Week 9, the games that were played on November 14th, 1964. This is Week 9. Now let's get into the November 16th AP poll. Number 1 was Notre Dame. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Arkansas. Number 4, Nebraska. Number 5, Texas. Number 6, Michigan. Number 7, Ohio State. Number 8, Louisiana State. Number 9, Syracuse. And number 10, Oregon. So that concludes a look at the week that was college football history review, the 1964 college football season. Week 9, the games that are played on November 14th. Please like, subscribe to the channel. I'll do a video of this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.